The internet has a lot of questions about sleep and what is normal, what is healthy, how do I get better sleep. So we are here with an expert, Dr. Wohlberg, to explain all things sleep. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. A lot of people online are talking about sleep paralysis hallucinations.
Yes.
Can you address that?
Two really separate things. We talk about sleep paralysis, which is being awake and not being able to move, which, in dream sleep, there's active inhibition of our ability to move. And then there are hypnagogues, which is like sort of dream content when you're awake. And so some people will have all sorts of imagined things that are around them. Those things are all aspects of dreams that are occurring in an inappropriate time. You're aware of your surroundings, unlike during dreams, but dream content is invading your waking state, or dream atonia is invading your waking state. Yeah, they can be pretty terrifying.
When my sister was little and she would get a high fever, she would have night terrors where she would wake up and look around, looked wide awake, and would start screaming at something specific that she thought was there. What is that, and what can people do about it?
So there are what we call parasomnias, events that are surrounding sleep that are atypical, unusual. It's not a dream, rapid eye movement sleep, REM-related phenomenon. It's an arousal from deeper sleep where you're confused and your eyes are open. Typically the dream ones, the REM-related ones are later in the night because there's more dream sleep later in the night. Your eyes are closed more often than not. So the phenomenon like night terrors and sleepwalking and sleep talking tend to be earlier. There's no recollection of them. They can be quite energetic. If you wake a person out of that, they are confused. So we're encouraged when we see that to just sort of guide the person back to bed, wait a little while, and they'll fall back asleep rather than awakening them.
When it comes to these weird behaviors, sleepwalking, talking, acting out, what is the number one thing you want people to take away?
If there's anyone at risk, either the person doing the behavior or the person who's in the room, safety is first. You have to make arrangements, even if it's sleeping apart, locking doors, anything like that. You probably should get a professional opinion. But while you're waiting, you want to make sure that the person's sleep habits are good. They're sleeping enough. Their schedules are a routine, because that helps, and they're trying to adhere to the routine. They're getting rid of things that are complicating their lives as much as they can. And then if you have a behavior that's very concerning, you want to do a true evaluation. You want to speak to a sleep clinician about it, and there may be a quick fix. In the meantime, safety and sleep hygiene.
Sleep medication, yay or nay?
So sleep aids are not a good idea for long term. They're meant to be done short term, like a month or two, because with all medications you take for sleep, there's the problem of getting an addiction, either emotional or actual physical. You get used to them, you're going to start requiring more of them, and even when they're ineffective, you'll believe that you're not going to fall asleep unless you have them. So it should really be short term.
Why do people feel groggy if they've slept too much?
Sleep inertia is really a question of what stage of sleep you're waking up out of. When you're waking up out of a dream, your brain is very active and you wake up ready to go. When you're waking up out of N3, the deepest of sleep, you're confused and you're tired. It's actually why we recommend, if you are able to take a nap because you have insufficient sleep, that nap not be a long one. We usually say a half hour, because it's too short to get into the deepest of sleep, and you won't have that sleep inertia feeling. That
For people who struggle staying asleep, do you have any tips?
we call it sleep maintenance insomnia, is part of the insomnia topic, and we usually categorize insomnia as being a problem related to behaviors and beliefs. So the behaviors are the sleep hygiene issues. Is the room cool, dark, quiet? If you do wake up, we recommend things like not dwelling on it, not staying in bed if you're not falling asleep, going off and doing something quiet until you're ready to go back to sleep. For the people who have really chronic insomnia, more than 3 months, they really may need to find a behavioral therapist to talk about cognitive behavioral therapy, because it's difficult to find what the thoughts you're having that might disrupt your sleep that are not real, and you need to change the way you view things. Some people get insomnia cured by that. We talk about insomnia related to watching the clock. If you're crazy watching the clock and you're believing that the next day you're going to be too tired to work, you're not going to be able to fall back to sleep. So we recommend don't look at the clock. Some of the other sleep routines, people try to do to fall asleep, I believe, 4-7-8. I don't like things where you're concentrating to try to fall asleep. Doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So I like you to, breathe quietly, guided imagery, think about nice things, try to pre-dream and try to calm thoughts.
Best thing a person can do right before bed.
And get into the habit of having a good hour of calming yourself, getting rid of the thoughts of the next day, not using devices, not eating, so that you're ready for sleep.
So what's the worst thing?
Not doing that. Certainly taking a drink is a bad idea of alcohol, taking anything that's caffeinated, doing something that's very vigorous or engaging, something that's going to make you, hyper alert.
A lot of people think that alcohol is something that they should do before bed because it relaxes them. What is happening there?
So the problem with alcohol is that it may make you feel tired in the beginning of the night, but it's going to delay your dream sleep, and at the end of the night or after the first a couple of hours, things are going to get bad. You'll have nightmares, you'll have agitation, so it may help you to fall asleep. You're going to pay a price later in the night.
Thank you so much for all of this, Dr. Wohlberg. We really appreciate all of your insight.
That's been fun. Thank you.